My parents sold my daughter for adoption while I was deployed, telling everyone I had died, posting soldiers make bad mothers and we did her a favor, and collecting the life insurance. Then I walked into their kitchen in full uniform with my entire squad. The first thing I noticed was my daughter's laugh, that hiccup and giggle I'd memorized before deployment, coming from the house next door. Not from my parents' home where I left her 14 months ago, but from the Andersons' backyard. I stood on my parents' porch in full dress uniform, duffel at my feet, key frozen in the lock. Behind me, my squad waited in 2 government SUVs, windows down, watching. Staff Sergeant Luna Reaper Reyes, 2 Bronze Stars, Purple Heart, and 1 beautiful daughter named Sophia, who was supposed to be inside this house, waiting for mommy to come home from Afghanistan. Instead, I heard her calling someone else mama. The key turned. The house was different. New furniture, fresh paint, no toys, no high chair in the kitchen, no crayon marks on the walls that I'd told mom not to clean because Sophia had been so proud of her butterflies. Luna? I spun. My mother stood in the doorway, face draining of color like she'd seen exactly what she was looking at. A ghost. Hello, Mom. My voice was steady. 14 months in combat teaches you to control everything, especially rage. Where's my daughter? She stumbled backward. You're dead. We had a funeral, the army said. The army said missing in action after an ambush. Not dead. Where is Sophia? My father appeared behind her and his face, Jesus, his face went from shock to calculation so fast I could track the gears turning. Planning, lying, the way he always did. Princess, he said, voice shaking. There's been a misunderstanding. Sergeant? I didn't turn, but I heard boots on concrete. Sergeant Major Williams, my squad leader, built like a brick house and twice as solid. Problem, Reyes? Stand by, Sergeant Major. I kept my eyes on my parents. I asked a question. Where is my 3-year-old daughter? Mom's mouth opened and closed. Dad stepped forward, hands raised like I was a spooked animal, or armed, which, to be fair, I was. Let's go inside, he said. We can explain. Reaper, that your kid? This time I did turn. Corporal Jackson pointed next door where a toddler in a pink sundress chased Bubbles across the lawn. Dark curls, dimpled cheeks, the tiny crescent scar on her forehead from when she'd face-planted learning to walk. Sophia, my baby, calling another woman mama and reaching up for a man who wasn't her father inside. Now I pushed past my parents, and my squad followed. 6 soldiers in full uniform crowding into the living room where my daughter's photos used to be. Now just vacant spaces on the walls like she'd been erased. Start talking, I ordered. And know that I have JAG on speed dial and a congressman who owes me favors. Mom collapsed on the couch. New, cream-colored. No juice stains. We thought you were dead, the army said. I was MIA for 6 weeks in a cave system with 2 broken ribs and a bullet in my shoulder, waiting for extraction. I pulled out my phone, showed them the dates. Reported MIA on March 3rd. Found and extracted April 19th. Spent 4 months in recovery and rehab. Very much alive the entire time. But they said, Dad started. Who's they? I cut in, because I've got the official Army communications right here. He held up a tablet. No death notification was ever issued for Staff Sergeant Reyes. So, who exactly told you she was dead? Silence. Oh my God. I sank into a chair as realization hit. You didn't wait for notification. You saw MIA and decided I was dead. You gave away my daughter because you wanted, I couldn't finish. The rage was too big, too hot. We got a letter, Mom said. From someone in your unit. It said you'd been killed in action, that they couldn't recover the body. Show me. She scurried to the desk, pulled out a file. Inside, a typed letter on plain paper. No letterhead, no signature, just a story about how I died heroically saving my unit. Jackson laughed, sharp and bitter. Ma'am, nobody in our unit writes like this. Plus, Reyes saved our asses, but she lived to brag about it. You forged this, I said quietly. You forged a death notice for your own daughter.
Hey guys, real quick, I hope you're enjoying the story. Don't forget to subscribe, it would really help the page. Thanks for supporting.
No, Dad protested. We received it from. Who? What's the postmark? Where's the envelope? I stood, training taking over. You know what I think? I think you saw an opportunity. Single mom soldier goes missing. Probably dead. That life insurance policy you made me take out, $400,000 with you as beneficiaries if something happened to Sophia, starts looking real appealing. How dare you? Huh? Reyes. Another voice from the door. Martinez and Thompson carrying a laptop. We got into the county records. You need to see this. The laptop showed adoption papers. Official, notarized, filed 5 months ago. While I was fighting infection in a field hospital. My parents had legally given away my daughter. Closed adoption, Martinez read. Birth mother deceased. No father listed. Grandparents citing inability to provide care due to advanced age and health issues. You're 55 and run marathons, I told my father. Mom does CrossFit. And look at this. Thompson pulled up another document. Life insurance claim filed 2 weeks after the adoption was finalized. Denied pending military confirmation of death. But you kept trying, didn't you? I was so calm. It scared me. What was the plan? Adopt her out, collect the insurance, and if I somehow survived, just what? Hope I'd understand? It wasn't like that, Mom sobbed. We couldn't handle her. She cried all the time. Asked for you constantly. She was traumatized. She was too, the calm shattered. She missed her mother. That's not trauma. That's normal. Luna, please. Staff Sergeant Reyes, Williams corrected coldly. She's not your daughter anymore. You made that choice. I stood. Decision made. Jackson, call JAG. Martinez, contact CPS. Thompson, get the Andersons over here. Tell them the truth, but keep it calm. They're victims, too. Roger that. And someone call Congressman Bradley. Tell him that soldier he helped last year needs another favor. My parents watched their perfect plan unravel in real time. Dad tried once more. Luna, Princess, let's be reasonable. Reasonable? I pulled out my phone, scrolled to the photos I'd carried through hell. I had these in my pocket when the I'd hit. Your granddaughter's face kept me alive in that cave. I clawed my way through infected wounds and physical therapy to come home to her. I showed them the last video. Sophia at 2, right before deployment. Mama, come back? She'd asked. Promise? I promise, baby, my voice on the recording said. Mama always comes back. I kept my promise, I told my parents. You broke yours. The Andersons arrived confused and terrified. Good people, I could tell immediately, the kind who'd love a little girl properly, who'd never sell her for money. I'm not here to traumatize anyone, I said gently. You were lied to. But that's my daughter, and I need her back. Mrs. Anderson was crying. We were told her mother died a hero, that there was no family left. We've had her for 5 months. She's attached. I know. God, I knew. We'll do this right. Legal channels, child psychologists, whatever's best for Sophia. But she's coming home. Reaper. Williams touched my shoulder. JAG's on the line. They want to know if you're pressing charges. I looked at my parents. My mother who taught me to tie my shoes and sold my daughter like property. My father who called me princess and plotted to profit from my death. Yes, I said. Everything. Fraud, forgery, false insurance claims, illegal adoption proceedings. Everything. Luna. Mom wailed. You buried me, I said simply. Had a funeral, collected condolences, posted on Facebook about your hero daughter who made the ultimate sacrifice. I pulled up her page on my phone. Soldiers make bad mothers. We did her a favor. Your words, Mom, under a photo of my grave. That was taken out of context. Ma'am, Corporal Jackson interrupted. With all due respect, shut up. You're making it worse. The next hours blurred. Police arrived. Statements were taken. The Andersons, devastated but decent, agreed to supervised visits while the lawyers sorted things out. CPS opened an investigation. JAG launched their own inquiry. And through it all, my squad stayed. 6 soldiers who'd walked through hell with me, who'd carried me when I couldn't walk, who'd risked everything to bring me home. They stood guard while my world rebuilt itself. Hey, Reyes. Martinez handed me coffee, black with too much sugar, the way I drank it in Afghanistan. Remember that promise you made about coming back? Yeah. You did that. Now make another one, that you'll fight for her as hard as you fought for us. Hooah, I whispered. Hooah. They responded loud enough to rattle windows. 3 days later, I had my first supervised visit. Sophia didn't recognize me. Why would she? But she was curious about my uniform, my medals. You're a soldier? She asked, tiny fingers touching my purple heart. Yeah, baby. I'm a soldier. My first mama was a soldier. She's in heaven. No, baby, I said gently. She's right here. It took time, weeks of visits, play therapy, gradual reintroduction. The Andersons, God bless them, helped every step. They'd wanted a daughter to love, not a stolen child. And they proved it by putting Sophia first. My parents were arrested on multiple charges. The fake letter was traced to my father's computer. The adoption agency admitted to expediting the process for a fee. The insurance company pursued fraud charges. But the moment that mattered came 6 weeks later. I was sitting on the Andersons' floor playing blocks with Sophia. She looked at me, really looked, and something clicked. Mama? Tentative, questioning. Yeah, baby. Mama's here. She crawled into my lap and I breathed her in, shampoo and grass and the faint trace of the baby powder I'd used. Different, but the same. Mine, but not quite yet. Mama came back, she said like she was testing the words. I promised, didn't I? Mama always comes back. She nodded, satisfied, and went back to her blocks. Simple as that for a 3-year-old. Mama went away. Mama came back. Now we play blocks. The legal battle took 8 months. 8 months of supervised visits becoming unsupervised. Overnight stays becoming weekends. My apartment becoming our apartment. The Andersons stayed in her life. They'd loved her when I couldn't, and that mattered. My parents took plea deals. 2 years minimum security for fraud and conspiracy. They lost their house, paying legal fees and restitution. Last I heard, they lived in a 1-bedroom in Delaware, telling anyone who'd listen about their ungrateful daughter who'd ruin their lives. But I had my daughter. My squad had my back. And every night when I tucked Sophia in, she'd make me promise, Mama, come back. Always, baby. Mama always comes back. The nightmares still come sometimes. Not about Afghanistan, those I can handle. But dreams where I come home and she's gone. Where I search empty houses and find only her ghost. Then I wake up, check her room, watch her sleep. My daughter, my Sophia, home where she belongs because I kept my promise. I came back, and this time nobody's taking her away. The last photo on my phone from that homecoming day shows 6 soldiers in full uniform standing guard around a little girl in a pink sundress. My squad, my family, the ones who brought me home and made sure I had a home to return to. They say soldiers make bad mothers. Maybe some do. But this soldier, this mother, I've got 2 bronze stars that say I don't leave anyone behind, especially not her.